MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. Just want to put out a video. I was on YouTube and I seen a short little video Submission Radio put out. It was Jon Anik at a Q&A in Australia for the UFC Fight Night 85 in Brisbane, Australia. He was asked about the Nate Diaz tattoo and stuff, and about Conor McGregor and the Nate Diaz fight, right? So anyway, I'm gonna play the clip for you guys, and yeah, here it is.
And also, John, considering Conor might fight Nate again with everything that came out in the morning, most likely it's going to be a rematch. So, would you possibly looking at making it bigger after he wins again?
And I think my days of tattoo bets are probably over, at least when it comes to picking pay-per-view winners. But, it seems like the legs are there for a rematch between Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor. In terms of the featherweight division, I'm never a fan of guys cutting a bunch of weight ever, and you've seen what Robert's been able to do at 185 pounds, even though he was very successful at 70. I don't like guys cutting too much weight, so I would kind of like to see Conor vacate the title and fight at 55 or higher going forward.
Hey, props to you, though. You stay true to your word, though.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So there it is. Jon Anik, he obviously got the tattoo, the 209 tattoo that was last week or whatever. But he makes a good point with McGregor making weight cuts. I mean, for McGregor to cut down to 145, I mean, he's done it before. Is he most optimal at that weight? Absolutely not. I mean, he's a natural 155er. I mean, he's 5'9" at 145. He's a very, very big featherweight, and I've said this many, many times in a numerous amount of videos that I've uploaded. Conor McGregor, he's obviously a natural 155er. And for those of you who don't believe, I've said it a bunch of times, go look at what Conor McGregor looks like when he weighs in at 145. Especially the Mendes fight. Because the Mendes fight, Conor McGregor suffered a knee injury about 3 months before that fight. He was supposed to fight Aldo, but Aldo pulled out. Mendes stepped in. But McGregor pulled or re-injured his ACL tear, the same tear that he pulled or that he suffered in the Max Holloway fight. He re-injured that, so McGregor didn't have a full camp, whatever. So the fact that McGregor didn't have a full camp, he had the knee injury that he was rehabilitating while he was supposed to be training and learning new techniques and getting better. He was obviously you struggle more to cut weight when you have a knee injury. You can't get on the treadmill and just fly, or you can't. Your movement, your mobility isn't the same when you have a knee injury, so it's tougher to cut weight. And but even in his fight against Aldo, where he was injury free, he still looks like shit at the weigh-ins. He's not a natural 145er. So of course, I want him to go back and defend that title. Of course I do. I really think that's what's best. The Frankie Edgar fight, I mean, people want to see that. Real MMA fans want to see that. Conor McGregor doubters want to see that fight. I mean, it's tough for McGregor to cut down to 145 and to face a guy like Frankie Edgar, a natural smaller guy, but the cardio kid himself, a guy that's going to be a buzzsaw in the octagon there against McGregor. He's going to be a hard target to hit. I mean, he does get hit, but he's always moving. He's not an easy guy to fight. He's an annoying opponent. You know what I mean? The way he fights. And kudos for him. He's a phenomenal fighter. But as much as I want to see that fight, I really don't think McGregor will ever go back to 145. Now that Diaz isn't, Diaz-McGregor 2, I should say, the rematch, Now that that's in the works, and I think that's going to probably get made, I'm guessing, I really can't see McGregor ever going down to 145. Because at the very least, he's going to fight Nate Diaz at 155. So I really, really don't see Conor McGregor ever going back to 145. I really thought after the Diaz loss, he was going to go back to defend his title, and I knew that was a problem. That was going to be trouble for McGregor because I seen him cut that weight before, and now he ballooned up to 168 for the Diaz fight, and now he's got to come back. Sure, he's got a long time before 200, but when you lose, you have to come back. You have to mentally repair yourself almost. Obviously he's extremely mentally strong, Conor McGregor, but even the strongest of mental, even the mentally strongest, they still need a little bit of time to come back from a loss, especially the way Conor McGregor went out. I mean, a lot of people are looking, a lot of people are watching, a lot of eyes on that fight. Regardless of that, he he took defeat like a man. He took his defeat gracefully, but I just think I'm putting it out there. My prediction: Conor McGregor will never fight at 145 pounds at the featherweight again. He'll never defend his featherweight title. I don't think. Yeah, I really don't see it happening. So that sucks for Frankie Edgar. He's been waiting for a big money fight. So now the question is, are they going to do, if Diaz McGregor rematch gets made for 200, are they going to have, an interim title, or are they going to have a vacant title? Because personally, the fight I want to see, we've seen Frankie Aldo again. As much as I'd like to see Frankie be the new champion, and defeat Aldo, in the rematch for a vacant title, with a better fight, a better style matchup, a better fight for the fans, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, but Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway for a vacant title at 145. That's the fight, in my opinion, to make. You can put that on UFC 200. A striker versus striker. You can build that fight because you got the guy that got Jose Aldo, hadn't lost in 10 years, only UFC featherweight champ before McGregor. Gets starched by McGregor, okay? Taking on a guy, Max Holloway, the only guy to, bring McGregor the distance. The only guy to ever bring McGregor the distance. Granted, he had an ACL injury during the fight, but, you can build that fight. And Max Holloway has improved so much since that McGregor fight, the way he friggin' demolished Cub Swanson. It was a submission, but he just dominated him. His last fight, he didn't, not the most impressive fight per se against Jeremy Stephens, but Max Holloway won that fight. Jeremy Stephens is no joke. Some people don't realize how good Jeremy Stephens is. This is a guy that KO'd Rafael dos Anjos stiff. He knocked him out cold. A long time ago, back in 2008. But nevertheless, he knocked out Rafael dos Anjos cold. He got a split decision win against Anthony Pettis when Anthony Pettis was knocking everyone out. So Jeremy Stephens is a solid fighter, and so Max Holloway, he is for real, and he got a win against him. He got a win against Oliveira, even though that was a weird thing. It was a weird, controversial fight. But Max Holloway is for real. I do want to see a fight against Jose Aldo. I think that's the fight to make. If Conor McGregor is done with 145, that's the fight to make. But don't get me wrong, Jose Aldo versus Frankie Edgar 2, I'd pay for that as well. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Conor McGregor will ever defend his 145-pound title, the featherweight title. Personally, I don't think it'll ever happen. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, subscribe. That's it for this one. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace.